The Galactic Council had been broadcasting for 3,000 cycles. Every species that achieved faster-than-light travel heard it eventually, a cascading symphony of stellar harmonics, the voices of 10,000 civilizations singing in unison across the void. It was beautiful. It was eternal. It was the sound of order itself, until it stopped. Commander Zakara of the Veiled Armada had been monitoring the chorus when the silence fell. Her sensory tendrils recoiled in shock, neural clusters misfiring as the absence hit her like a physical blow. Around the bridge, her crew members began keening in distress, their shared consciousness fragmenting without the chorus to anchor them. "Impossible," she rasped through her vocalizer. "Check all frequencies." All of them. Her communications officer worked frantically, manipulating controls with forearms simultaneously. "Nothing, Commander. The chorus is gone. Every relay station, every council world, every harmonic node, complete silence. Find the source of the disruption." It took them 6 hours. 6 hours of spreading panic across 73 star systems. 6 hours of ancient species wondering if the universe itself had ended. The answer, when it came, made no sense. Sol 3 Earth, the humans. Sarah Chen sat in a white room aboard the Council flagship, surrounded by beings that could have stepped from humanity's oldest nightmares and wildest dreams. The veiled ones with their translucent skin and floating tendrils. The crystalline architects who communicated through refracted light. The ancient preservers who claimed to have witnessed the birth of galaxies. They were all staring at her. "You understand the magnitude of what you've done?" Zakara demanded, her translator rendering the word sharp as broken glass. Sarah nodded slowly. "I do. The chorus has maintained galactic peace for millennia. It is the foundation of all civilization, the heartbeat of the cosmos itself. And you silenced it. With a word." "With a whisper, actually," Sarah corrected softly. The crystalline architect pulsed an angry red. "This is not a matter for human humor. You have committed an act of cosmic violence. We should dissolve your entire species into component atoms for this transgression." Sarah met its gaze without flinching. "Except you can't restart it, can you? You need me." The silence that followed was damning. The ancient preserver finally spoke, its voice like wind through canyons. "Explain. How did you discover what took our greatest minds 3,000 cycles to construct?" Sarah leaned back in her chair. "Because we're really good at finding off switches." It had started 6 months earlier, when humanity's first deep space listening station detected the chorus. Dr. James Morrison had been the one to make the discovery, and like any good scientist, his first instinct was to understand it. The pattern was complex, impossibly so. Harmonics layered upon harmonics, each frequency interlocking with thousands of others in a self-sustaining symphony. It should have taken decades to decode. Sarah's team did it in 4 months. "It's not just communication," she had explained to the UN Security Council, her fingers dancing across holographic displays. "It's control. The chorus doesn't just connect species, it constrains them. Every civilization that joins adds their voice, but they also accept the harmonic limitations. They literally can't think thoughts that would create dissonance." "Are you saying the Galactic Council is mind-controlling everyone?" the Secretary General had asked. "Not controlling, harmonizing. There's a difference, but the effect is the same. Innovation that threatens the pattern gets automatically suppressed. Revolution becomes unthinkable. They've achieved peace by making conflict neurologically impossible. And you found a way to stop it?" Sarah had smiled then, a small, dangerous expression. "I found the master key. The chorus has a single point of origin, a quantum resonance that all other frequencies reference. Turn that off and the entire thing collapses. And humanity never joined this chorus. We never had the chance. We were too young, too noisy. Our thoughts are dissonant. That's why they've been ignoring our request for contact." The room had fallen silent as the implications sank in. Finally, the Secretary General had spoken. "What do you recommend?" Sarah had looked at each face around the table. "I recommend we teach them that silence can be louder than any song." Now, sitting before the council, Sarah reached into her jacket pocket. 20 weapons trained on her instantly. "Relax," she said, producing a small silver device. "Just a quantum resonator. The same one I used to turn off your chorus." Zakara's tendrils writhed. "You would threaten us. Your species is barely capable of leaving your own system, and yet here we are." Sarah placed the device on the table. You built something beautiful. I'll give you that. 3,000 cycles of perfect peace. But it's a peace built on neurological chains. You've turned every species in the galaxy into a choir that can only sing one song. Order requires sacrifice, the preserver intoned. Order requires consent, Sarah countered. You never asked anyone if they wanted to join. You made it impossible for them to refuse. The moment a species joins the chorus, they lose the ability to question it. And your solution is chaos? Or suffering? Sarah stood, meeting each alien gaze in turn. My solution is choice. You want your chorus back? Fine, I'll turn it back on. But this time it's optional. Species can join or leave as they wish. You build networks, not cages. Unacceptable, the architect chimed. That would lead to freedom, Sarah interrupted. It would lead to freedom, something humans understand pretty well. Shakara leaned forward, her massive form casting shadows across the table. And if we refuse? If we simply take that device and force you to restore the chorus as it was? Sarah's smile was cold. You're welcome to try. But that device isn't the only copy. And the knowledge of how to build it is already spreading through human networks. Force us, and I guarantee someone will just turn it off again, maybe permanently next time. The preserver's ancient eyes studied her. You would hold the galaxy hostage? No, Sarah said quietly. I'm setting it free. There's a difference. In the end, they agreed. The chorus was restored but restructured. Species could now choose their level of integration, could step away and think independent thoughts, could question and innovate without neural constraints. It wasn't perfect. Within a year, 3 minor conflicts erupted in sectors that had been peaceful for centuries. But there was also an explosion of art, music, and scientific discovery that dwarfed anything seen in the previous millennium. Commander Jakara stood on her observation deck, watching human ships moving through space with their characteristic chaotic efficiency. They didn't follow the elegant patterns of chorus-synchronized vessels. They darted and weaved, each one independent, somehow still working together. Do you regret it? Her first officer asked. Jakara thought of the uncomfortable new thoughts she'd been having, ideas that would have been impossible before the silence. Dreams of places the Armada had never been, questions about their purpose she'd never thought to ask. No, she said finally. The humans were right. We were singing a beautiful song, but we'd forgotten we could sing anything else. She looked out at the stars, no longer bound by ancient harmonics, and smiled. Perhaps it's time we learned some new music.